Hey, what's going on YouTube, and welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at the in-game news, or we try to take a look at the in-game news and see what kinds of content is coming out this week that's going to kind of push our limits and see what we've got to challenge, and try and get ready for that with an emphasis on like picking up killers and materia and abilities and gear and stuff like that in-game right now that are going to help you with those challenges based on what races and elements and stuff we have to deal with as far as the enemies go. This week we are getting a few different trials. A lot of them are focused on Final Fantasy Type 0. One of them is focused on Final Fantasy 3. So that's cool. And we're also getting a couple of other things that are going on in the news. And we'll talk about those in just a moment. And then I have some special unexpected news to share with you that is not official and not shown on our screen right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get through our stuff that we know is coming and then hit you with something really exciting. So first and foremost, I'm gonna go ahead and show you why I made a comment about like when we try to take a look at the news. So I'm gonna click on this Operation Breakthrough, for example. I don't know why, but the news on my game is just not loading right now. So we'll go ahead and pull the news from another source. I'll go ahead and pop that up right here. So the very first event that we're going to talk about is the Operation Breakthrough. This is your typical box summon event, and in this one, it's against a machine enemy, the Captain Henderson. I'm going to scroll down a little bit and see if you can see it. I don't even think it shows the enemy. It doesn't, but you can kind of beat up on a machine enemy. It has no resistances. It does have weaknesses to fire, wind, light, and dark. But you're basically be bringing, your big Type 0 team and just farming up and getting a bunch of points. The other part of this event is the exploration, and this is against a human enemy. Gilgamesh has no resistances and no weaknesses. You can take whatever team you want. Kind of, because it's exclusive to Type 0 category units. But the big thing that you can do is you can blind him. So he doesn't have a weakness to any elements, but he does have a weakness to a status effect. And so we're going to go ahead and try and get these rewards, for the Big Bridge exploration. So it's been a while since we've had an exploration event, and I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, they can tell you that you can access it through the dungeon. And yeah. Neat. I'm excited about it. So depending on what units you have, that might be useful, that might not be. It might be difficult, it might be really easy. Who knows, really? It's hard to say. But you want to take your team of Final Fantasy Type 0 units. Now, there are not a ton of Type 0 units available in the game right this moment. So I do want to go ahead and point out to you, and this was pointed out to me during my stream, and it's worth talking about, that even if you don't have a Type 0, a big roster of Type 0 units, we can go ahead and grab some. So I'm gonna just to kind of point out to you, if we filter out the only Type 0 units, and usually we're talking about Neovision's ones, we're talking really Kurosame, Queen, and Machina, which are not a lot of options. Thankfully, we are getting 2 new Neovisions units this week, as well as a new NVA in the form of Seiss. Now, I will go ahead and point out to you that I only have 1 copy. So if you're like me and you've been auto-fusing your Seiss and you don't have a whole bunch of these available to make an NVA and get them all the way to EX3 or her all the way to EX3, fear not, my friends. If you go to the shop and then go to the permanent exchange shop, scroll down to Star Quartz, and then scroll down to the S's, QRS, right here. For 20 Star Quartz, you can go ahead and grab yourself a copy of Seiss, make as many 5 stars as you want, or even 7 stars, and then upgrade the ones that you have to EX3, and you've got a reasonable breaker and imperil unit that's going to help you probably get through those these events. So there you go, free unit right there, 20 Star Quartz, go get it done. Now, in addition to that, Operation Breakthrough and the exploration event, there's some other stuff we have going on as well. So the big one here is the Towering Foe. Here we go, a towering foe. This is against, you can kind of see it right here. This is a golem. This is a stone enemy, and we're going to be using this fight to upgrade our type 0 uniform right here. Now golem has resistance to all elements at 50%. It has no weaknesses, but it does use primarily physical and fixed damage attacks. So you can probably just do a lot of like mirage and physical cover and just like deal with it. It's like not that difficult, probably. The uniform itself is attack and magic 74, defense 28, spirit 42. And then for the type, a lot of these units, you know, it's giving attack and magic 500 and LB damage 25%. So kind of cool. You know, it's a neat little piece of equipment, I think. And we're gonna be able to get this. And then anything who is a Blessing of the Crystals category unit, which is the same as Ace's leader skill that's coming out, they're gonna get a 200% boost in their parameters. So you probably want to use those units if you can. So we're gonna need Stone Killer and Machine Killer and Human Killer so far. We know that. We are also gonna need some Demon Killer, and this is for the Silver Crown battles for Ingus. Demon Killer is going to help us out against Scylla here. Scylla has 50% resistance to all elements and no weaknesses, and uses a mixture of both physical and magical attacks. Now, the wiki makes note that the magic attacks can be reflected and sealed, so that might be a useful strategy for you. Don't forget that Wildcard Ace has an ability that lets you seal magic, as well as, you know, we have options for like casting you know, Carbuncle and just getting Reflect on your team in lots of ways. So, you know, maybe that's a strategy you want to go for, is reflecting that magic. Or just, you know, probably just killing the boss before you even get there. It's a demon enemy, and you can only take Blessings of the Crystals category units. So mentioning before, you know, there's not a whole lot of type 0 units. There's also not a ton of Blessings of the Crystal units, but I do want to kind of point out to you who those maybe are. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that category together. And we'll take a look at the list here. Turn off that and turn on Blessings of the Crystals, which is right here. So we got a lot of choices here. So notice we got some Final Fantasy V units, some Type 0 units. We've got some Final Fantasy 3 units, makes sense. Final Fantasy 1, you know, Final Fantasy 1 is all about crystals, so is 5 and 3. And then you've got some FFBE units, so like units like Vilk, you know, the various Fina units. Yoshikiri, he's part of Fundamental Forces, as is Elena, as is Louise. You know, Axstar's in here for some reason. Lore reasons. Knights of Grandshelt, Soul, you know, lots of options as far as these units. So you can probably piece together a pretty nice team, especially if we also filter out ones that are good at demons. You know, who's good at demons here? We've got Vilk, we've got Fina the Return, we've got Kelgar, we've got Elena, we've got Starlight Elena. So we lots of good options. Sorry, Dark Knight Lunith, not a very great unit, but has affinity for Demon Killer, and of course Knights of Grandshelt. So, you know, you've got some definitely some good choices here for Blessing of the Crystal, and you're gonna have to bring them because this one is locked to Blessing of the Crystal. But I don't think it's gonna be that difficult in all reality. So I'll go ahead and clear these filters out and kind of be done showing you that for right this moment. Just thought it would be neat to kind of point that out. Okay. So definitely want to take a look and see, you know, what are the silver crowns that we're going to be getting. And I think I pulled the list up right here. Nope. Bear with me here. Here we go. Silver crowns. So this is for Ingus. And his ability here, Hidden Feelings for Princess Sarah, gets upgraded all the way up to +2. And it gets boosted HP, MP, attack, magic, defense, spirit by 100%, fill LB gauge by 400 every turn, change the effects of his LB, and he also gets similar abilities in his shift form as well. Fill rate by 100, fill LB every turn, and change the effects. So we get big upgrades to what Ingus can do. He gets a leader skill as well and has new abilities, the Rune Bell. So, you know, we're getting some love for Ingus. I actually happily do have an Ingus. I have one copy. Mine's only at EX1, or sorry, EX0. So, you know, I'm still going to go ahead and get these and use them on him. I might throw him in the Shard Dungeon to get the last 20 fragments over time. because I like doing free upgrades. So there you go. And there's Ingus. So pretty cool that we're getting some free stuff here as far as like unit upgrades. And so we're getting some Demon Killer as well. Now, this is by all means not the only thing we have going on. We're also getting an update to the story, so we're getting some new Lapis if you're into that. I definitely am. And then if you're into the story, you get that as well. We're also getting this fight against the producer every day, change the rainbow hooded man every day, and we get a lot of really good rewards for doing this. So if we collectively get to 250,000 total clears, then we get 10 1/10 Neovision summon tickets. We're also getting Eraser Gigantars, Master Crowns, emblems, Emperor Gigantars, lots of tickets. So Esper Ore 77, lots of good stuff here. So definitely make sure you guys go in every day and do this. In addition to that, we're getting live stream celebration daily summons. So that's exciting. That can be started every day during the campaign. The campaign starts on the 15th, which is this Thursday. And that's going to count us down to that celebration. But that's not the only free polls we're going to be getting. Let's find it here. Here we go. We're getting these tickets every day for the anniversary countdown, and we're also getting free summons here as well. So lots of free polls coming once a day. Definitely go in there and do them. And we're getting those for the next 2 weeks. So when they tell us that the countdown is going on for these 2 weeks, that tells us that the anniversary is going to be coming here at the end of that period. So that is very exciting, I think. I did mention that we're getting some leader skills as well. So a lot of units are getting free leader skills. Onion Knight, Fledgling Warrior, Fiend of the Return, Galoof, and Onion Knight, Steadfast Soldier Machina, all getting their various 102% leader skills. Notice the Blessing of the Crystals category ones are 200% because that is generally a pretty small category. So there you go. Yeah, cool. Free leader skills. We like free leader skills. I like free leader skills just because it gives us stuff to do. Also, and this one, some people are excited about it and some people are not. We're getting this Passionate Performer login bonus with a collab with Addison Rae, free unit coming our way. I like free units. I'm the type of player that doesn't really mind so much like who the unit is as long as their kit is good, if it's usable. Tell us a little bit about her. She's got the buffer tag, only the buffer tag, so okay. And then she's an SLB unit, and it boosts resistance to a bunch of elements and LB damage for her SLB. And then the super, we know this about SLBs at this point. And then she's got an EX ability. She's got EX3 ability as well. She's got a vision card, which is like okay. She's got a accessory STMR instead of a weapon, so that's a thing. It's got a lot of resistances on it and some spirit. Defense and spirit 30 with 10% chance of evading physical attacks. Like, okay, pretty cool. Free 500 EX ability spirit, and then also has a water imbue. So that's cool. Water imbue, water amp. This being good depends solely on how high that amplify is. Some people were joking around in Discord earlier saying like, oh, that's going to be 30%. Some people were saying like, oh, what if it's like 45 or 50%? Like that could be pretty cool. But probably going to be in like the 30 to 45% range because it's a free unit, but who knows if she's a good unit, if she ends up being useful, we'll use her in some clears. But there's no content that's specifically tied to this. It's just us getting a unit and fragments for logging in every day, at least that we see. Here's her vision card, 750 attack and magic, 750 HP, 60 attack, magic, defense, and spirit at level 1, and then all the way at level 10. 1500 attack and 1500 HP, and then 110 attack, magic, defense, and spirit. It's okay. And then 60% total buffs, and then for her she gets an additional flat $300 stats. So kind of limited to really being relatively useful for her, but even still, like if you've been playing for a while, we've got better options. But if you're brand new, if you're coming over because of the Addison Rae collaboration, she could probably be a very useful unit for you. You know, support units are, they usually have really long shelf life. So if she's even remotely good, she'll probably carry a new player through the game really, really well. So that is exciting. Now, that is by no means not the only stuff that's going on that's exciting, though. And I did mention, you know, that I did have some exciting news that I wanted to share. And, you know, we're talking a lot about the anniversary celebration for the game's 7th anniversary. And for the past several years, they've had big events and big live streams and big, you know, who doesn't enjoy doing the slots to Chocobo to get all their free ticket pulls and stuff like that. So that's all fun stuff that they do in the game. And that's really cool. But for the past 2 years, you know, content creators, you know, like Flip Method and put together the unofficial live stream for the past 2 years. This year, there hasn't been a lot of talk about that yet, but I'm happy to tell you now that there is some talk about it. You know, this year Flip came to me and asked me if I'd be interested in hosting that. And so here we are. Without further ado, I'm proud to present that this year's unofficial FFBE anniversary event is going to be held by me on the 15th of July at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, right there on my Twitch channel. And I'm not going to get too much into what we're doing just yet or who's going to be there, but I will say that there's a big range of people that I don't normally interact with. So that's very, very cool to me that are going to be involved in this. And I'm going to be hosting that. It's going to be kind of like a longer version of our Beige Carpet After Party reviews, kind of more focused on what, you know, what the year has been like for us and what we're excited about for the next year based on what we see and all the anniversary stuff going on over the next couple of weeks, as well as some other games and activities that are going on. And just a lot of really fun interaction, and hopefully it's a lot of fun engagement with our, you know, with our various communities. So I'm going to be dropping, you know, information about this over the next couple of weeks as we get ready for this event. We're about a month away. And so just keep your eyes posted, whether you're talking about here on YouTube or over on Twitch, various platforms that I post stuff on. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And I hope that this is an exciting event for you. It's definitely an exciting event for me, a little nerve wracking, but I'm excited about it. And because I really enjoy having these discussions and interacting with people, and, you know, the various people that I've gotten that have committed to doing this are a lot of fun. So hopefully you'll come out for that. But keep your eyes posted as far as, like, you know, more information about that. But, you know, definitely mark your calendars now for the 15th so that you can come and hang out with us and have fun with that. Cool. So as usual, like I said, we do talk a lot about killers. So we know we need machine killer. We know we need stone killer, human killer, and demon killer. So let's go ahead and dive into those right now. First of all, we'll go ahead and talk about demon, just because that's the one for Ingus's rewards. You know, Crucifying Coercion is a really good trial reward you can get, as well as Demon Killer Plus from Belphegor, Demon Eater Sense, Mask of Ashura. Mask of Ashura is actually pretty good for two things, because there's Human Killer and Demon Killer on it. But the big pull is Crucifying Coercion, Force Mysterion from Lunera, and then the various the Demon Eater Sense and Demon Killer Plus. So those would be your big ones that you want to go for Demon Killer. Those are just like the big draws there. Human is another one that just has tons and tons of options. We've talked about this a lot. Mask of Ashura, like I said, Man-Eater Sense and Man-Eater Sense. The Elnath Trial can give you Man-Killer Plus if you've never done that. Guy's Belt, again, just that same way you can go and get copies of Cease for or Sice, or however you say it, for the NVA. You can go ahead and do the same thing for Guy and get copies of Guy's Belt very easily for a really nice 75% on an accessory for Human Killer. Weapon Specialist from Wild Rose Furion. Tons and tons of options for Human Killer. This should not be too hard to pull together. You know, harder than Human Killer and harder than Demon Killer is things like Machine Killer, where we've got like the Machine Eater Sense right from Doulahan, or Machine Killer Plus Recipe from Death Machine, which sometimes can be a little tricky, but mainly focusing on TMRs and STMRs, things like Mechanic for the Royal Family, Valued Memories, Vortex of the Past and Hatred, Last Guardian, you know, various things there. The TMR game for TMR and STMR game for Machine Killer is usually really, really good, and those are the ones you want to focus on. We are also dealing with stones, though. Another one with not a lot of killers in game, but we're going to do some tonight. You can get Stone Killer Plus from Stroper, Stone Eater Sense from Archaeoavis, which we're going to do right now. Excuse me, that tickle has been building for like a minute and a half. Okay. And then again, Weapon Specialist from Wild Rose Furion, Storm Bunny Jacket, Stone Killer from King Giot. Very, very easy to get Stone Killer from that, from Friend Points. Lots and lots of choices. So that's where we're going to start tonight. We're going to do Archaeoavis. And I've talked about Archaeoavis kind of being like one of the easiest 12 types trials that we have in the game. And that is definitely true. And I'm going to show you how to do it with this team right here. You can even do it with different teams. There are lots of ways, but these two units right here carry our damage completely, and that's going to help us to get some Stone Killer. So we'll go ahead and get this out of the way, and then pull up our team. Actually, we'll go to our Vortex and do it that way. And we're going to go to Nemesis and 12 types, and then scroll all the way to the bottom to Archaeoavis. So the advanced version of this trial, you have to do it within 6 turns. You have to do it with a party of 5 or less without dying to get all the rewards. It tells you here that it's a bird. We know this. It does status ailments. We don't care. And then it's going to start with a field effect that reduces lightning resistance for the area, but then it changes to ice about halfway through the fight. Cool. We're not too worried about that because we're going to do this in 1 turn, and we're going to go ahead and dive into this right now. And we're not going to take a friend. You could take a friend. We've got a party of 4 here. So if you don't have, Cisne, and you want to bring a friend that is also selfie, you could do that. Does not have to be. Or if you have all these units and you're just not doing enough damage, you can grab a friend unit that'll chain. That's totally fine too. Notice that our Gilgamesh, who is an NVA, is totally unequipped, has no equipment. And then we've got this unit here, Sakura Dark Lineage, also wearing no equipment, but she's very, very well geared or well suited for this fight based on the abilities that she has. I'll go ahead and show you our gear for our other 2 units. Let's go ahead and build the gear up here. And we'll start with Cisne. Wearing her own STMR, wearing, magic stuff that you can get, playing the game right now. Carlet's hat's pretty good. Heliolite's really good. This is a trial reward. This is her own, TMR. Corrupted Mage is from Kefka. Yep, 5-star Kefka. And then Bird Killer Plus just from somewhere, just to get some Bird Killer on her. Wearing a Louise vision card just because it's easy to grab and happens to give magic, whatever. It's not that great. She's doing like partial damage here. Our main carry is Selfie. And Selfie is even technically worse geared. She's wearing all trial rewards or 5-star based TMRs and STMRs. And then, some one piece of event gear, from her own event, which is the same thing with Garden Girl's uniform. She's wearing the Dark Lineage Vision card just because it does give good stats, and she's going to carry our damage completely. Happens to have pretty innately Bird Killer, and she's not even capped out on it. You could definitely give her more if you had room for it. If you didn't want to worry about Dream of the Faith and you want to put some Bird Killer on, you could go right ahead, or you could swap out Winged Heart for Bird Killer. It just has to be magic Bird Killer. Actually, no. For her, she wants physical, because the ability she's using, we're doing physical. So, grab a Bird Killer. There we go. And now she's got 300 Bird Killer, and we're good to go. Physical Bird Killer, because we are using her physical abilities. So we'll go ahead and pull the actions up so you can see what we're doing, and then we will take this out in 1 turn. So again, it starts by lowering their lightning resistance for the entire area, which is convenient because that's what we're doing. Gilgamesh is going to just break the boss and then lower lightning resistance further, and then just evade attacks. Why not? Great. Sakura is going to she's going to triple. She's going to do True Thunderstone. She's going to do Wing Shooting Boon. This is going to be a 250% Bird Killer for 2 turns on a single ally. She's going to use that on my main carry, which is Selfie. And then she can do whatever she wants with the other turn. You know, if you're worried about lasting more than one turn, you could use status reset to boost resistances for the party. This boss does do resist status ailments, so that's not a bad way to go. And then we're just going to do some damage. So Cisne is going to quad Thundera from her from the Aranyes ring and just being able to cast that spell. Selfie is going to quad Speedy Nunchaku, and that's Bolting Strike. They're both Bolting Strike. We're just going to chain them up, and the boss is going to go bye-bye. Selfie once again steamrolling these power creep trials and doing the damage. Selfie's pretty cool. I'm glad she came to us. Take a look at the damage breakdown, and you'll see that she's the carry. You know, does easily 4 times as much damage as Cisne here, but obviously geared a lot better, has way better stats and things like that. And there we go. So that'll get you some bird killer as well as stone killer that you will need for this week's challenges, and hopefully that is useful to you if you for some reason never done that challenge. So that is pretty much it for right this moment, and we're gonna go ahead and go, and then be back on Thursday to do this content live on Thursday over on Twitch, and have a lot of fun. We do a lot of stuff with like chit-chatting and visiting and talking about things that are going on that maybe sometimes are related to FFBE and sometimes aren't. Tonight we were talking about Star Wars. So we talk about a lot of things as we hang out and chat, and that's a lot of fun for me, and I hope that you guys enjoy that too. But yeah, go ahead and get you some demon killer, some stone killer, some human killer, and some machine killer to get ready for this Type 0 event. I usually enjoy the Type 0 events just because the music's really cool when they bring these. I've never played Type 0, but I do like the music from it a lot. Yeah, I'm curious to see how this is going to go. So hopefully that's been fun for you to talk about what kind of killers you have available and the stuff that we have going on that we're excited about. Especially, shameless plugging this little piece of nugget right here that I hope you come back for on the 15th. Definitely, of course, stay tuned and attentive to all the official stuff that's going on too. But I'm really excited about this, and I hope that you guys are too. Keep an eye out for updates about this as we go forward. And we'll see you in the next video, which should be, live streaming on Thursday. So take care, be good to each other, and have a great night.